Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be a video, a upload on me answering the question, or me trying to demonstrate to you why I think that this winter, and many others think this winter may be very snowy, very cold, and quite frankly, possibly historic across many locations. There's just the signs are increasing, pointing towards a really chilly, just a really chilly winter. And the Enzo just got updated, the El Nino Southern Oscillation, and basically. What we've been thinking is even more and more becoming more and more likely. So that's exciting. As you know, it's always exciting to know what you're forecasting is actually, most likely going to be true. So consider subscribing to this channel, guys. Consider liking the video. I make these videos all about the weather. I make videos like this. They're all about the long range and about the winter to the fall. Couple months out, I also make long range outlooks that are only a week or two out. Like the actual what the models are hinting at. But then I also make winter storm updates or pattern updates, which are in the short range. So all sorts of things, guys. So thank you so much for the support, and let's get right into it. So this is the newest, basically the synopsis of what has been updated recently. Thursday, the second Thursday of October, and you can see the 10th of October 2019. Enzo alert system status not active because it's not an El Nino or a La Nina, and that only gets activated when it's a La Nina or an El Nino. And you can see Enzo neutral conditions are favored, or Enzo neutral is favored during the Northern Hemisphere fall 2019, 85% chance, which for the El Nino probabilities, that is just very high. 85% is insanely high. We don't often see that, unless obviously we're already in the season, which we are at this point. It's already October, so we're looking at we're already in the fall, but they're pretty darn confident about that. And look, through the spring, 50 to 60% chance, which has gone up by 20% in the last month. So that is definitely something noticeable. And you can see they just give you a bunch of stuff, a bunch of information. And near average sea surface temperatures were evident in East Central Pacific Ocean, which I'll show you in just a minute. During most of September, though, SST anomalies increased during the past couple of weeks. In the last week, and they just go all over this, and I've read through this, and basically what they're saying, they're just talking about the El Nino and or the Enzo, and what low level winds, how they impacted this, how that impacted this, and how that impacted this, and how this impacted that. It's all sort of things, and basically what they gone down to is that most of the models are still showing the neutral, and that what they were thinking and what I was thinking is basically going to stay the same. They just up the confidence. So let me show you the Enzo evolution and current status. You can see updated 7th of October 2019, and here's the summary. Enzo neutral conditions are present. Enzo neutral is favored through the Northern Hemisphere again. This one says 75% chance, but I don't think, but again, this was, I don't know if this is exactly as updated as the one I was just showing you, but 75, 85, the point is they're very confident. And they go through a lot of things here. Notice how the Nino 1 and 2 region has gone down into more of a cooling phase, but the other ones are warming, especially the Nino 4, the one further south there. But this just goes up and down, and then they go up, and then they go down. So it's just like, it's not gonna just continuously keep going up. Some weeks they are cooling, some weeks they are warming. As you can see, this is a weekly, so this is measured by the weeks, and you can see this is the average SST anomaly, so a little bit cooler, but then warmer out here. I'll show you the SST in just a minute. Actually, I'll show you them right now. Let's go and check this out. This is this is the Enzo region right here in this area, basically off the coast of Ecuador and Peru and Colombia or Venezuela. I think that's Colombia. And basically this area right in here is the whole Enzo region, and especially the further east you go, kind of right in this area. You can see it's a little bit of blue, but then it's a little bit of orange. And during a La Nina, it would be, or El Nino, it would be more colors up like this here by the Arctic. It would be, somewhere over here, and that would just be really chilly. You know, there would be really warm. Sorry, and it would be, you know, you'd see it that it would be pretty clear that it would be warm. During La Nina, it would be blue colors, and they would be pretty clear as well. There are some blue colors, but it's not really noticeable that much, as the blues are not that powerful, and the oranges are kind of all mixed in throughout. So this is just a classic neutral. I mean, it's either, that's why, or it's neither. That's why it's called a neutral. It's between an El Nino and La Nina, or a La Nina and El Nino, all of that sort. And you can see that basically what they were talking about is that these locations have been warming a little bit, becoming a little bit warmer, while these locations have been a little bit cooling. So again, they're just, it's kind of like an equilibrium right now, cooling each other off. And basically, yeah, this is what the Enzo is, in case you're wondering. That's the region we're talking about. And you can see they give you another one through the 8th of September through the 5th of October, so a little bit wider, different view than what we had up here. You can see this one is just the Pacific, this one is just the global SST, this was just the tropical Pacific. And then this just gives you more anomalies, more upper ocean conditions, basically an atmosphere, and we're not going to cover all of that because this is 32 slides, which would just be an insanely long video if we covered through all of this. I just want to go through the most important things. Here's another one. El Nino is characterized by a positive ONI greater than or equal to 0.5 degrees Celsius. Positive 0.5 Celsius, and basically what the ONI stands for is basically a 3-month period where the, you know, it's greater than or equal to 0.5 Celsius. So it needs to be at least 3 months that are above 0.5 Celsius in this region in order to be an El Nino, and the same goes for La Nina, just negative 0.5 Celsius. So that is, you know, what they're classified as, the El Nino, La Nina. Right now we're looking at a neutral, so in between those two. And I want to show you the graphic. Here it is. You can see it says updated the 12th of September, but this was actually updated the 10th. I mean, the earlier graphics were showing around 75, like you saw up there, the unupdated one, and now the synopsis one, which was updated 10th, showing 85%. And you can see this one, this bar clearly shows 85. So you can see through fall, obviously the confidence goes down, not because, you know, the waters may be warming, it's just, it's farther out. So naturally, the chances or the confidence of NOAA, or the Climate Prediction Center in this case, will be much lower, which is run by NOAA anyways. But you can see 85, then this goes to 75, 65, probably like 58, 57, 56, 57, and you can see it just stays that the neutral will most likely be through the whole winter. You can see December, January, February, March, April, most likely a neutral pattern. And you can see it's the most like uncertainty is like kind of right around here, around the winter time, where the El Nino rises up to almost 25-30% possibility, but neutral is still, you know, almost double that. So it doesn't seem likely. This is the models. You could see that they are showing, not a single one is showing a La Nina. Couple are showing an El Nino, but the majority are showing a neutral, which is, you know, why they have upped it to 85% for the fall and 60% for the winter. And here's like the kind of the cleaner version. I don't know if I could zoom in on this just so I could show you this better. You can see that they have this nice little uptick. I don't really know what exactly would be going on here. Basically, this was September, and now here it's forecasted to spike up almost to an El Nino in October, and that's kind of what you've been seeing. You can see that the cooler conditions, which were noticeable last month, are now kind of dissipating. So we may get a little bit of a warming phase, but still, rather it's gonna, you know, drop right back down across the next month or two. November, December, and January, you can see into a neutral, and that black dashed line is like the average, and you can see, I mean, it's just as close to a neutral as it could get right there, basically flat out zero. Some models are showing a weak El Nino, some other models are showing a weak La Nina right here, but most of them, I would say 85% to 90% are showing a cool or a warm, or a neutral, sorry. And then what does a neutral mean? Well, basically you could see a neutral Enzo pattern. There's a lot of things that go into it, but basically the kind of like if you were to boil down, put Enzo neutral in a pot and just boil down its impacts, here what you'd get. You can see the polar jet stream gets sent to the north, kind of brings in the coldest air right through here and then kind of just dips itself down, usually because of blocking high pressure over Gulf of Alaska or by Greenland. And this usually just brings the cold air into the U.S., especially eastern central U.S., which could just bring brutally cold conditions into U.S. And notice also how there is, I don't know if I could click on this image because it's a little bit small, but basically the thing I wanted to point out is notice how there's a Pacific jet stream going into the northwest, so maybe pretty wet and above average precip for the northwest while the neutral occurs. So it's not all just warm for the northwest. Maybe chilly as well if some of this cold air decides to dive down a little bit further. Also notice how it's wet and warm across the south. When these two things can overlay each other, that could produce lots of snow for the mid-south central region and even up to the northeast. Also, along with this jet stream, there's a lot of Alberta clippers, these little disturbances that come along, and these could produce a lot of snow. Maybe not one would produce a huge blockbuster system, but one after the other could definitely pile up, and that's what we saw in the 2013-2014 winter, where we saw, just ridiculous amounts of snow across the Midwest because of those clippers, and it was, again, a neutral pattern. So we may get that setting up again. We'll have to see, but as of right now, everything that we forecasted is kind of coming together. If you recall, we were forecasting for a nor'easters to be pretty prevalent across this winter and fall, and I called that in August and July. And notice right now, if you look at the models, the long-range models, they're showing nor'easters. There is one right now sitting off the coast of New England, spinning away, bringing winds and rain. And I think we could definitely see that repeated through the winter, and that's, again, to do with the neutral pattern. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking this video. Consider subscribing to this channel. And if you like these type of videos, let me know. I'll be making more of these. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. See ya. Bye.